This might really be the beginning of the end for Love and Marriage, Huntsville. Grab your favorite snack and stick with me, because what I'm about to break down might change how you look at the show forever. Right now, the ratings are dropping, and people are seriously asking, is this show on its way out? What's going on behind the scenes? Why are so many fans losing interest? Is Carlos King hiding something? We're going to talk about all of that and what this could mean for the future of the cast. Trust me, you'll want to hear the full story before jumping to conclusions. Let's start with the numbers, because this drop is serious. The Season 10 premiere of Love and Marriage, Huntsville aired on July 19, 2025, and it only pulled in about 219,000 viewers. Compare that to Season 8's premiere in May 2024, which had around 278,000 viewers. That's nearly 60,000 fewer people tuning in for the new season opener. Now that's not a small dip, that's a major loss. And while some fans want to say, well, people don't watch live TV anymore, let's be honest, if the show still had the same buzz, that drop wouldn't be this big. Even with DVRs, apps, and streaming, you'd expect some consistency if people were still excited. And to make things more complicated, there's still confusion about whether these numbers reflect just live views or include streaming too. But either way, the energy around the show feels off. Let's talk about the cast, because that's where a lot of the shift seems to be happening. Starting with Melody Sherry, she's made it clear that she's done with the drama. After everything she went through with Martell, she's focusing on her peace, her kids, and her business. She barely interacts with the other cast members anymore, and fans have noticed. Martell, on the other hand, is still out here making noise. He's posting cryptic stuff, arguing online, and trying to stay in the spotlight, though not always for the right reasons. And now there are new rumors floating around that Arian Curry might be pregnant again. There's no confirmation, but in Huntsville, where there's smoke, there's usually something burning. If that rumor ends up being true, fans are going to have a lot more questions about Martell's judgment, and many of them are already fed up. What about Letitia and Marceau? They've been dealing with drama since day one. Cheating rumors, business struggles, tension in the church, it's all been there. But fans are starting to feel like they're watching the same story play out over and over again. It's like a rerun at this point. Nothing feels fresh. Then we've got Kimmy and Maurice. Kimmy is still loved by many because of her calm spirit and strength, especially during her health journey. But even her storyline seems to have hit a wall. And Maurice? He's kind of just there. He pops in, but never really adds much unless it's tied to someone else's drama. Stormi and Courtney were supposed to be a breath of fresh air. And for a while, it looked like they might bring something new. But the spark hasn't really caught fire. And Tiffany and Lewis? They've tried to stir things up too, but fans often feel like their drama doesn't hit, it comes off forced or awkward. So now people are asking, is the show running out of gas? Let's go back to Carlos King for a second. Remember last November when he posted about the show's ratings going up 43%? He said he had receipts, and OWN even celebrated that the network had topped cable ratings among African American women 25-54 on Saturday nights. At the time, cast members like Kimmy and Letitia were sharing that post and showing love. But if the numbers were really that strong, then how did they fall so far, so fast? Some folks think Carlos may have hyped things up to keep the network and advertisers happy. And while that might have worked in the short term, the latest numbers have fans raising their eyebrows. Is production to blame? Are the storylines weak? Or is the real issue that the cast just doesn't want to be vulnerable anymore? Back in the early seasons, Love and Marriage, Huntsville felt real. We watched marriages fall apart, friendships get tested, and people fight to rebuild their lives in front of the world. That honesty is what pulled people in. The chaos, the healing, the raw emotion, it felt authentic. But now? It feels curated. Scripted, even. As if everyone's just playing it safe to protect their brand. That deep emotional connection between the cast and the audience, it's not there like it used to be. And fans are noticing. A lot of them are saying online that it feels like producers are trying to force storylines because the cast no longer wants to open up like they once did. And if that's the case, you've got to ask, what kind of reality show is this if the reality is gone? We're watching a show that built its name on truth and transparency start to fade because it no longer has either. The legacy of Love and Marriage, Huntsville is undeniable. It gave us powerful moments, unforgettable drama, and cast members who became household names. But at this point, it seems like the spark that made it special might be dying out. Is this the beginning of the end? Or just a rough patch the show can recover from? That depends on what happens next. Will Carlos King make some bold changes to bring life back into the show? Will the cast be willing to open up again and share more of their real lives? Or is it time to let this show go and give something new a chance? It's true, y'all. The ratings are falling, and honestly, it makes sense. People are turning the channel, closing the app, or just skipping episodes because it no longer feels real. Fans don't want staged dinners, fake tears, or forced apologies. What kept Love and Marriage, Huntsville alive all these seasons was the raw truth, the real arguments, the unexpected moments, the heartbreaks, the healing. That's what made us care. But now, it's like the heart of the show is missing. And it's not just about a few thousand viewers dropping off. This is about the bigger picture, the future of the entire franchise. If the ratings keep dropping like this, OWN might have to make some hard choices. Will they shorten the season? Will they cut out certain cast members and bring in fresh faces? Or worse, could they just cancel the show altogether? We've seen reality shows bounce back before, but it usually takes a major shake-up. Something like a new cast member who flips the table literally or figuratively. Maybe a reunion episode that breaks the internet. Or a storyline so real and raw, people have to tune in. But that's not happening right now. Instead, fans are getting tired of recycled drama and conversations that feel scripted. They know when something is just being done for TV, and they're no longer buying it. So, Carlos King, if you're listening now, would be the time to change gears. Don't underestimate the audience. They're smart. They want authenticity. That's what made the show special in the first place. Real people. Real marriages. Real mess. And right now, it feels like the cast is holding back or just plain over it. Some fans are even saying they want spin-offs, or they want old faces back, people like Mariah Huck, Destiny Payton, or others who really brought the fire. Because let's be honest, this current mix? It's just not hitting the same. The chemistry feels off. And when the chemistry's off, the whole show starts to fall apart. And while people are still talking about the show online, tweeting, commenting, going back and forth on TikTok, the live numbers still matter. A drop of nearly 60,000 viewers on premiere night? That's huge. No social media buzz can fully cover that up. So here's what I want to ask you. Are you still watching Love and Marriage, Huntsville, like you used to? Do you catch every episode, or do you wait and binge later? Do you think the show still has life in it, or is it time to close the chapter and move on? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Especially if you've been with the show from day one, I want to hear from you. And thank you for sticking with me until the end. You know I had to lay it all out because there's too much confusion, too many rumors. Now you've got the full story, and you can decide for yourself. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and share this with someone who still watches the show or used to love it. Because trust me, this conversation isn't over. Not by a long shot. We still don't know how Carlos King is going to respond. We don't know if the cast will wake up and bring back that old energy. Or if this really is the slow ending to what used to be one of the realest shows on TV. Whatever happens next, we'll be watching. Stay tuned. And remember, reality TV is supposed to be entertainment. But sometimes, the truth behind it is the most dramatic part of all. If you liked this breakdown, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and turn on your notifications so you never miss a story. Celeb Nova will have it all covered for you. Thanks for watching, fam. Stay real, stay respectful in the comments, And remember, sometimes silence isn't peace, it's preparation. See you next time.